Welcome to the Reality TV is Self-Help Podcast Summer House Recap Edition. Each episode is only going to be 10 minutes and I'll get in what I can. If you are a fan of Summer House, you watched already on Tuesday or Wednesday night, depending on when it aired in Canada for you. Season 10, episode 1. And I pretty much need to focus on Kyle and Amanda because, one, if you've ever been in a long-term relationship, I've never been married, so I don't know that extra level of having to get out of something and having finances combined, all of that. But yeah, I feel for Amanda big time. Let's look at all the warning signs beyond their normal relationship, which was already really messed up. We see that Amanda chooses to drive with Sierra to go to the Hamptons or wherever the show is filmed. She doesn't go with Kyle. He's pouting about it, of course. Kyle is so infuriating because I find him funny. I want him on the show. He is comedic relief. I think he's hilarious when he's drunk. He does a lot of entertaining stuff. But as a person, as a human, as a man, he is one of those men who I think is used to always being dominant, Mr. Popular, and not really having to pay attention to someone else's feelings. And since he always had Amanda locked down pretty much, I think he has clearly taken her for granted to the point that she's now filing for divorce from him or separated. Amanda is asked by those new girls how long she's been married for, and her response is 4 very long years. Then we see Kyle will not help get Amanda's bags for her, even though Sierra's asking himself to. Amanda also says to him, don't embarrass yourself in front of the new girls. Everything Amanda says to Kyle in this episode is filled with disdain, dislike for him, simmering rage. And of course, she had her phases with him, but I have never seen Amanda just not give a shit. She's going hard for him, and you can tell that Amanda has lost respect for Kyle. That's what I would say. I think she's lost respect for him. So then he's talking to the new girls. One of them says she was born in 1995, and then he's like, oh, shortly thereafter, that's when I first had oral sex. And then Amanda makes fun of him again for that. Those kind of comments are why I do find Kyle entertaining, but it's only going to go so far when that's your real life relationship. Now let's get on to the dinner because a lot of stuff went down there. Amanda drops, Kyle lost his wedding ring and I'm not getting mine. I'm not going to wear mine till he gets his replaced. Okay, Jesse. Usually I can't stand Jesse, but I'm actually liking him this first episode. He goes, that's okay. You guys can cosplay as single. Ooh, such a good burn because it's true. Just clearly they were not feeling it. Kyle was not letting go as much as she was. Also because I know Jesse has a huge crush on Amanda for good reason. The real interesting new person is Bailey. She reveals that she was broken up with at a place called Sweet Green. I don't know what it is, but everyone else did. It kind of gives me the impression it's like Erewhon in LA, fancy schmancy grocery store. That is the version in New York City. Let me know what Sweet Green actually is because I haven't looked at it. And then someone's like, not at Sweet Green. She said they lived together, and this is where she starts to get really funny, and I like her a lot. She's very beautiful, so she's not relatable in terms of her looks, but in terms of personality, she is. So she's like, yeah, I remember spilling my salad everywhere. And she said, I got him a salmon salad because I knew he liked those. So he shows up. She said he dropped the keys to the place they shared together on the table. He had all his luggage. And she said he moved to LA that day. And she later did get confirmation that he was cheating on her, knowing that that's the kind of guy she was attracted to. That's where I want to see what happens with her and guys in the house, because I totally relate, but going for that type of douchebag kind of guy, I want to see what happens with her. That she cried at the dinner table, I thought that was very relatable and fun, and I liked how much she was able to open up quickly. So then we start getting into Amanda and Kyle, and they're very uncomfortable back and forth. Amanda says that Kyle wanted to be a DJ despite me. Kyle, blah, 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 in his nasally voice, and then she's like, tell me where I went wrong, and then they roll the tape of Kyle was wasted. Amanda wanted to start her bikini line. And then guess what? Kyle literally was like, I'm going to go be a DJ and one up her. Amanda thinks he's accusing her of being jealous. So she's like, I'm so jealous. Literally takes over my whole body. And this also is not, she's being hilarious, but Kyle being on the receiving end of her, just again, she is so done, and I have so been there. So I relate to Amanda where that person doesn't have that power over you anymore and they cannot handle it, even though they did nothing to keep you happy all the way along. So that was not what was actually happening. And then Kyle's like, my wife's not listening to me, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, there's only so much Netflix and chill, so I had to go out and DJ. You mean like spending quality time with your wife? Because you're 43. Then Amanda jokes, Kyle loves to play music for no one, saying that it's cool the new girls like to dance. Another dig. All she says to him is dig, 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 dig. Then Kyle says from January to June, he's only been home 1.5 weekends. I am a total homebody, and I've dated people who go and party all the time, and it sucks so much. I can't imagine, again, I've never been married. Can't imagine being married to someone like that. He was hoping that he could he's delusional, I wrote, because he just wants to reunite while they're at filming a reality TV show after he clearly has not done anything for her. Then she's talking to Sierra in bed. She talks about the rumors that were on page 6. Kyle was seeing XYZ. She's like, I'm just numb to it now, and that scares me. And so I see, even though Amanda is bitter towards Kyle, that freedom when that person is just like, you put me through so much and I don't have to experience this anymore. That is exciting. Okay, it's their first night out, and then you see Kyle come home and Amanda turns away. She just goes into her phone. She won't cuddle him, which of course pisses him off, but he went out again. Oh, Kyle, I think he's jealous of Ben. It was just a very short reaction when Ben was in the kitchen, but Kyle's eyes were saying, I'm threatened by this guy, and who wouldn't be? The new Aussie guy, Ben, he was Australia's Bachelor. He looks just like Matthew McConaughey. I did make a TikTok saying that prior to Bailey saying he's Aussie Matt McConaughey. So the fact that Amanda was naked in a pool at her best friend's wedding with her best friend who was the bride, Ben, while Kyle walked around the pool DJing, not giving a crap, that already seems to ruffle Kyle's feathers. And it's weird because normally I would care about West and Sierra and that whole thing, and it's not that interesting to me anymore. It's more about Amanda's attitude and knowing Kyle's ego, that he's really going to struggle with her just shit talking him constantly. Okay, this is another thing. When they're showing leading up to the party for the July 4th, Amanda's petting some hens, roosters, and Kyle's making digs, which indicates that they haven't got laid in a while. He goes, Amanda, Hero's thinking you forgot how to handle cocks. And then Amanda goes, who wants to sleep in bed with me tonight? To the chickens. Kyle ain't getting laid. Amanda talks to Sierra going, is it my thoughts or is it the internet's thoughts that I should get divorced? Because that's what everyone's saying. Well, no wonder everyone's saying that. Another thing, Amanda says that Lindsay can sleep with her when she comes there for the weekend, and Kyle will have to find somewhere else to sleep. Amanda tells Sierra that she does still want kids, but for the last 5 years, she admits she's lost herself. And again, this is going to get Amanda more and more fans, which she already has. The fact that she's being vulnerable enough to admit that she did lose sight of who she is for that long, but she said she's finally feeling good now and she wants to embrace it. And I think that's also really interesting when you let go of a relationship that is just so draining and the person just doesn't want to participate in a relationship with you in so many ways or compromise at all. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to beg you to do anything anymore. And it's so funny, the people who just take, I don't know why guys do it, where they just take women for granted for so long. I'm sure women do it too. It's just I've experienced it like that. It's interesting that Amanda does still want kids. She's 34. She's young. Why shouldn't she? I like that Sierra says, you know, without saying, hey, don't have kids with Kyle, Sierra saying, well, my mom just assumed about my dad that he was going to be just like her dad, present, available, all this stuff. So, you know, I'm a little bit concerned about what you're seeing with Kyle's behavior right now. Even Carl is going to Kyle saying, how are you doing, man? And then Kyle's like, not well. And then, like, of course, trying to make a joke of it. And then Carl goes, you know, well, things said in jest, there's always a grain of truth to it. Kyle expresses to Carl that he's just so frustrated he cannot make Amanda happy. Why I find that annoying is because he doesn't try to make her happy. He does whatever he wants, and then she's not happy, and he just wants her to be happy with him doing whatever he wants. So that's just bull crap. And then he does admit saying out loud these things scares him. Okay, so the last thing that's really important is when they all get naked in the pool together, or a lot of them are, I don't know, Amanda has a strapless bra that's see-through. Amanda has amazing boobs. Jesse was saying earlier he's jealous that Aussie Ben got to see Amanda's boobs. He's like, I haven't even seen Amanda's boobs. I would love to see Amanda's boobs. She's really hot, attractive woman. And then she's wearing underwear. So she wasn't even naked, but yes, her clothes, her things that she was wearing were see-through. So then when she gets out, Aussie Ben gives her a towel. Also her body language, she's like cowering in Kyle's presence. Maybe it's just that she was cold, but she looks like she's cowering. Then Kyle, of course, starts berating her, chastising her. Well, it would have been fine you were naked if you just came and told me. She's like, we were in the same pool together. Why do I need to come tell you that I'm naked or that I'm jumping in here? You're right there. Kyle is really digging himself a deeper grave, in my opinion. And that's all I have for this episode. Just since it's been 10 years that Amanda's been with Kyle, and since he cheated on her early on, yeah, Kyle sorry, but it is gratifying to watch this because he has not listened. Again, I think me and so many other viewers, women, can relate to when it's like, I'm trying to tell you this is a problem and it takes years. And they think because you haven't left for years that it's never going to happen. And then finally, once you break free, if you're that type of a loyal person, it's like, I'm not breaking free to suck you back in, to give you a message to play with your head. I'm over it. I'm over it. And you're never getting me back. That is what I think is happening with Amanda and Kyle. And Kyle just continues to drink and not face it. But this season is looking really, really good. And I cannot wait for episode 2.